excited today, and we're always excited. This is a very special weekend. It is called Memorial Day weekend. So I'd like to say first, before we get started, thank you to all of our military men and women who have devoted their life and sacrificed their life and their time for the sake of safety for our country. I mean, also fighting for the free world. We want to say thank you for putting your life on the line for all of us so we can be free. And in lieu of that, I like to say that today Dr. Woods is finally tired. I am finally tired. My energy has finally been drained. It's drained. So I want to say that our co-host today is none other than our Army military officer DeAngelo Jelks. We want to say thank you personally for what you've done for this country and serving our country to keep us free. Thank you so much.
It's my honor, Doc. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much for
I
that.
learned a lot about Officer Jelk. He's done a whole lot. And we're going to bring him back so we can really talk about him. But today, we're going to talk about us. That
Yes.
means you, me, and this entire city and what's going on while we're asleep. Y'all, come on. We got to wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Annie, are you all right? We have got to get you all up and acclimated and get you involved in what's happening in the politics of Chattanooga because our community is going down, 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 down.
Mm. You left
And
out some downs, Doc.
yeah, it's down. It's a bunch of downs. And it's because we are not woke. We don't know what's going on. We're not going to these meetings. There's billions of dollars while we're asleep just being spent, and it's not being spent in our community. So I'm tired. I said, come on, Officer Jelks, come on and do this show today. I can't. I can't. I crank. I can't. I can't. I can't. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Take it over. I
So,
just can't.
but I actually wanted to start with a question. I wanted to know about the budget that you put together, about the plan that you put together. You said it was 3.5 or 3.6 million dollars or something like
Yeah,
that.
$3.56
Okay.
million dollars.
And what exactly was that for?
This was for the community, the poor, the black and brown community, because that's where investments have been lacking. So you sit around and you wonder, why is my neighborhood not growing economically? Why are schools the worst of any neighborhood? Why are roads bad? Why don't we why are people still killing each other?
Mm.
Why are we hating each other? Why are we mad?
It don't make no sense.
They don't make, but there's a reason for us being mad.
Everybody's angry.
Everybody is angry. We're living together where there are no resources, and everybody's fighting everybody to get a piece of the action. And it forces a lot of people to have to do underground economy. That sell drugs, then they get to fighting over that money,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, pow pow.
That was real nice of you. Call it underground economy.
Yeah,
I like it. I like
it is because anytime when it's not on top
Sure.
and it's not legal, then
I
it's
know.
underground.
Yeah.
And it's a reason why people are doing underground economy. It's a reason why we're killing each other. Don't sit up and act like, oh, black people just killing each other. It's black on black crime. Why is it black on black crime? And everybody's sitting around going, oh, they just killing each other. No. It's because our government, while we're asleep, they're spending money that's supposed to go in our economy to help make our communities better. And they had one chance in a lifetime.
Tell me about it.
You know, Lord have mercy. Our United States President Biden, who's a Democrat, I'm going to go there,
Okay.
put out so much money
He did.
throughout this country to the most impacted cities in the nation.
Mhm.
And Chattanooga Hamilton County was one of them.
Exactly. Go ahead. Keep talking.
We're impacted. And why are we impacted? Are we impacted up on Signal Mountain?
Nope.
Are we impacted in Ottawa?
Nope.
Are we impacted in Collegedale?
Nope.
Are we impacted
Feels
on
like
the North
church.
Shore? Where are you? Tell me. If you all out there listening,
Yeah.
somebody said, don't be so angry, don't be so
Yeah.
mad. I am angry, and I got a right to be angry because God said there's a time and a place for everything.
That's right.
It's a time for peace and it's a time for war. It's a time for gladness and it's a time for joy and a time to be sad. It is a time to fight when you have to fight. And so God gave us an example because he got mad too. Did he not get mad?
Yeah, he did.
In there in the church, turned it into,
a marketplace, and
yeah, he just turned all them tables over.
Yep.
Turned them over.
Yeah.
And so that's a good response.
Mm-hmm.
When you are angry, that is a good response to nonsense.
Sure.
So we're dealing with nonsense.
But hold on, Doc, because you brought up the rescue plan, the COVID-19 stimulus, right? So our county was awarded $71.4 million. The final payment of $35 million is supposed to arrive this month.
Yes, this week it was supposed to arrive. Yeah, this month before the end of the month.
39 million of it is unallocated funds. Unallocated funds.
Yes.
You wanted 3.5 to do some amazing work.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, so we went to the mayor's. I'm gonna call the mayor out because we got two y'all.
Yep.
Y'all are always banging the city mayor's head. But let me tell you, we got another mayor's head that you all need to be banging on.
Been there a long time.
Been there forever. It's the most quiet kept secret in this whole county. It's the county mayor and that $1 billion budget he gets to operate every single year. And if you pay taxes, everybody pays taxes.
That's it.
Even if you're renting a house, you're paying taxes because that money that you're paying your landlord, he's using that to go right downtown and pay the county taxes and the city tax. Your landlord ain't paying it. You're paying it when you rent that house. So everybody has a piece of the action. So when we're talking about taxpayers, we're talking about every citizen that's here in this city that's a part of society. Okay. So every year he gets $1 billion budget and they put that toward the things that they're obligated to pay, but they always have this little extra too, right? We don't ever go down there and ask him, what you going to do with the extra? We don't never ask him that. But guess what, y'all?
But you did.
Hey, I knew we got $71.4 million, and it's going to be a one-time payment from the United States of America, our President Biden. And he sent that to Hamilton County. He also sent another $36 million or so to the city. Yeah. So altogether, it's over $100 million. But anyway, let's talk about the county because I went to the mayor. I took about 10 people with me. And we gave this amazing presentation, and we're gonna put it up on our website.
You are. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we're gonna put that up.
Yeah.
Yes, and so when that happened, he loved it. He said, "Oh, this is good." You know how people just boosted our little self-esteem up. We were like, "Yes." He liked it. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna call Tim Kelly, Mayor Kelly, and see if he'll go in half with me."
Wow.
I'll do half and he do half. I said, that's great. Yeah. Everybody walked away smiling and because he's the man. He's the man.
That's it.
And so then it was time for us to go before the commissioners. There's 9 of them. I think one just got asked to move up. So there may be 8 now. But we were then instructed to meet on May the 11th, I think, to go before the county commissioners. Yeah. All of them that were there loved it. Didn't have no questions about the money. Thought the plan was amazing because we have touched every part of the problems in the Black and brown and poor community in this $3.56 million proposal. No questions. We crossed our T's, we dotted our I's, and we were ready to go. Then came the workshop.
Okay.
The workshop where the mayor then says, okay, I've heard everybody.
Now, this is on the 24th.
Yes.
So you had that meeting on the 11th where everybody loved it. And then on the 24th,
We get
less
in there,
than 2 weeks later.
about 20 of us. We piled in there. We was like, whoa, we finna get this money for the black and brown and poor community because everybody like it. All the commissioners that were there that, we would have needed 5 or more was, kudos.
Yeah.
One even said, Dr. Woods, we're so happy. When I was on the school board, I was the one that voted to give Alden Park that building out there. And I could not be more proud of my decision for the great work you all are doing. So I walked out with my chest poked out. I was like, yeah, we did that. And so we show up last week to the workshop.
Okay.
And we took about 20 of us down there from the community and from Alden Park Development Corporation. And this is where the mayor says, okay, I've heard everybody what you want. Now, this is what I've got to propose for the county commissioners to vote on. And I'm like, okay. So I start thumbing through the pages.
Yeah.
And then I saw will not get funded.
Yes.
And there was the Girls Inc.
Yeah. I think that's in here. Let me go.
Yeah, go ahead and call it out. What I love about Officer Jelks is that he crosses all his T's and dots his I's. This man that went on the website, this information comes from Hamilton County's government website. Okay, so we're not making none of this up. Yeah. He gonna read you.
That specific list is not listed here.
Okay,
yeah, no,
all right. Well, I'm gonna talk about the 2 that I remember because they were the only 2 black requests that he had basically decided, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And that was Alden Park Development Corporation's budget. And I remember Girls Inc. And when he finished with his proposal, first of all, he addressed me as Miss Woods when I raised my hand. So that little spark that you all read about was probably because I corrected him. I'm Dr. Elenora Woods. I've earned that degree.
Did he know that you was doctor ahead of time?
He knows me well. He calls me doctor every time
he see you.
So now we're in a crowd of white folks and a whole bunch of black folks in the public, and he wants to, it was embarrassed. It was an insult, really, because had I been a white male doctor sitting out there, he would address me as doctor.
Yeah.
So I corrected him. I did. That might have made him mad, but I don't care. So we went on and I told him I wanted it for the record because we had the news media there. We were recording it as well. That entire budget, the budget that's almost $1 billion budget.
881 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
That budget disenfranchised black folk because there were 2 on that list. The African American Museum that had asked for about $73,000, just $73,000,
Sure.
And he only gave them $23,000, and that was for the maintenance of the building that doesn't belong to the African American Museum. That belongs to the city and county. That's not our building, y'all. We're renting that. I don't care if it's $1.
Yeah.
We're renting that building. It does not belong to us. We simply have our goods in there, and it's part of the tourist district because
that budget. Yeah,
that budget. So they gave them out of the $78 or $73,000 they were requesting, 23 of it, which meant they gave them nothing because that has to be used towards maintenance. So 23 for the building, 0 for the black folk. Well, I'm going to say the African American Museum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the Urban League asked for $100,000. And they got $50,000, which is the same $50,000 they've been giving them for the past 20 years. Because they used to represent the part of the government that handle all the EEO issues. But now they have Mr. Ken Jordan that handles the EEO out of his office. I'm not trying to get rid of his job. I'm just saying they do have a person that's doing that. But because it's probably still in the computer, they just give those, let's give them their $50,000. But the other $50,000 of the 100 that they asked, they didn't give it to them. So now we're on to the art money. So I think it's a total of 4 black organizations that ask for money. If you want to include Girls Inc., because Girls Inc. help all girls, but I'm going to say the majority of them are African American and poor girls. Girls Inc., Urban League, the African American Museum, and Alton Park Development Corporation.
I thought that Lighthouse Collection or collective
Yeah, they actually approved it last budget year, so I think there's some more. They made them wait.
Okay.
So I think they got that. That might have been 300,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Go.
And Alton Park Development Corporation. And so now we're off of that $1 billion budget, nothing. Then we come over to this free grant money. Free, y'all. Ain't got nothing to do with your taxpayer money. Nothing to do with it. This is something that Biden sent to our county for them to disperse because we had some severely hard hit, impacted communities.
Yeah.
And like I was saying before, what communities do you think it was? Who had the highest rate of COVID? You know, what communities suffered the most economically? It was the African American
minorities,
minority and the poor community.
Exactly.
And when you look at this budget, we got none of that money. None of it. And so, yes, they say, Dr. Woods, are you angry? You dadgum straight, I'm angry. Because as a person of color, a person who's been through poverty, the one time we could have got some help and our government failed us. They failed us. And so my thing is now, what are you going to do? I've done what I'm supposed to do. What are you going to do about it? Because Wednesday, this coming up Wednesday, I will be down there again. I've already let the chairperson, Commissioner Sabrina Smedley, know. And if they only give me 3 minutes, that's fine. Because I got some more folks got something to say. Give them 3 minutes. We'll get it in. But I understand, but I have not heard it from the mayor's mouth himself, because I did call him. And his secretary assured me that he was going to call me back. I said, I want to meet with him. Because I'm always thinking about diplomacy before war. You see, he still has an opportunity because there are $11.2 million left of the ARP money that's unallocated, because this past Thursday, I called the finance committee chair, Mr. Lee Bronner, and asked him, is that $11.2 million still there? He said, yes. I said, is it still unallocated? He says, yes. I said, does that mean that you all haven't promised anybody that $11.2 million? He said, no, nobody has it. I said, well, then the mayor still has time to give the African American, the Black and brown and poor community our $3.56 million. And so I haven't heard this from the mayor, but I heard it from the chair. And I called Commissioner Mackey. And I told Mr. Mackey, Commissioner Mackey, Dr. Commissioner Mackey, that the mayor has said, if we can get 5 votes of those 9 or 8 members of the commissioners to say yes, then he will give us the money. But I want to challenge every commissioner that saw us and know that this community suffers the most to reach deep down, down, down in their soul and make this budget equitable, fair, and just by doing the right thing by all people in our community. And I want to address that because there was a white male that raised his hand during the question time of this workshop and said, Mayor Coppinger, there's still $11.2 million of unallocated funds. Does that mean that we can revisit giving the $3.56 million to Alton Park? And he turned red as a tomato. This is my radio station. Y'all can get mad.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell it to you just like it happened because we got it on video. I'm not even depending on channel 3, 9, and 12 to give me that copy because I own the copy of that video because I paid someone to do it, our video photographer, to make sure we had all this on video because we might need it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And he turned red as a tomato. And he stepped from behind the podium. And it was clearly visible that he was angry at the question. And maybe he was angry because it came from a white male.
He said, "You're supposed to be on our side.
You're supposed to be on our side. I dare you
exactly
ask me a question about these Negroes that's wanting some of this $11.2 million that's left of the $71.4 million. And they only want 5%. We got 95%, but they ain't gonna get that either." He said, "I don't see color when I make decisions." And he does, because he saw color, because he didn't give not one color person anything. He said, "I don't see color. I've had 2 stellar careers." He's talking about the fire department that he retired from and the mayor that he's retiring from. And he said, "I'm going to sleep well on my decision." And then that's what probably got me angry. Because how can anybody sleep well knowing that bullets are ringing over the heads of people in poor communities like they in Beirut somewhere? And people are dying in our community because we're hungry. We don't have homes. We don't have jobs, and we are the sickest people in Hamilton County. So how can you sleep well knowing that you had an opportunity to make a difference on your way out the door? Because you've been there 12 years and hadn't done it yet. But on your way out the door with some free money, that wasn't no Republican money, wasn't no Democratic money, it wasn't nobody's money, but the folks that were supposed to get it, and it wasn't going to cost taxpayers $1. So the one time I keep hoping and praying that people will do right, and the one time that you, Mr. Mayor Carpenter, had to do right, you failed us. So I hope you sleep well on the earthly side, but I don't know where you're going to sleep well when your eyes close for the last time. So I'm asking you, because God said, "For he that does for the least of us, or the least of them, do it as unto God." So when you don't take care of the little people, that's why I fight so hard. Because God has commissioned all of us, especially when you have much. When you have much, much is required. God has commissioned us to take care of the poor, the sick, the hungry, the homeless, the widowers, the orphans. He has commissioned us to do that. And Carpenter, you got $71.4 million free dollars. Free dollars. Not taxpayers' money. Free money. One-time distribution. And you didn't give it to none of those groups of people. How dare you sleep well at night?
Okay, so I got a question for you. Looking at how the money was allocated, was the line as clear as black and white?
You got the pie chart. Now, so let me share something with you. So you all know I've been raising HE double hockey stick, right? You know, and I don't mind, because guess what? I don't care. When it comes to my people, black and brown and poor people, I'm going to wild out on you. So I talked to his financial director that he himself commissions. He gets to appoint that person.
Yes.
And he said to me, "Well, now, Dr. Woods, I've got to correct you on one thing." And I said, "What is that?" He said, "Well, we went ahead and decided to give the Girls Inc. $100,000. I said, "Well, you should have made an announcement of that after the meeting. You haven't made the announcement. Okay, all right. I'm going to clap my hand. You still got $11 million. So keep going. Don't check a box." See, I know about checking box off. That means, make sure you got some black folks
the token
involved.
Yep.
It's a token organization.
Token organization.
So you done
exactly.
checked the box off, because I've been screaming you left black folks out. So you done checked your little box off, but you didn't spend 0.001% of that $71.4 million. So if you really want to impress us, give us that $3.56 million, and the rest of that $11.2 that's unallocated, give that to the rest of the black and brown and poor community. Give it all to us. because $3.56 million is only 5%, people.
It's a drop in the
that
bucket.
means they got 95% of the money, and the most impacted community has nothing right now. Don't try to throw girls ink and nails a token. Don't do that. That's an insult to my intelligence and everybody else's intelligence from the Black and brown community. Don't do that. Because if you wanted to give it to them, they would have been in your little slide presentation when you had them in the category to deny. You would have done it then. So I'm going to keep on raising hell. I'm going to keep on walking. And I'm going to keep on talking all the way to the courtroom, all the way to the Supreme Court, all the way up to Washington, D.C., and let them know. And I want you to explain why you all have given almost $40 million to WWTI, which is the sewer people. But that's a committee or board of folks that you, Mr. Carpenter, you appoint every single one of those board members, and not one of them is African American. Not one. I think you have all white males and maybe one white female. Not one of them come from the African American community. So you don't even impress me at all. And I believe they were paying off a debt. The sewage bill, and y'all can correct me because I can always stand to be corrected. But this sewage bill was a loan that was taken out to get in compliance because we were out of compliance with our sewage system. But I think this money benefited directly Signal Mountain. And y'all can correct me. I'm going to go back to my video. I'm going to put that video up here because they tell you what community this particular project was for. But the point is, that was a loan that the county took out way before COVID. So why are we taking ARP money to pay it off and not general funds money out of your general budget to pay it off? When poor people, Black and brown people need that money. Pay your own bills. That was free government money.
And that general fund is usually the hugest part. Those
$1 billion.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, so you know what? I bet you people would like to know why you care so much.
Number one, I was born a poor girl in College Hill Courts. And I am a product of affirmative action. See, this is why we got to have laws like this. Because you give the community that kind of money and you don't apply it to African. We make up 22% of the county. That meant we should have at least, if he was really thinking, you know, you got to know math now. And I'm not going to insult nobody because God don't like ugly. Yeah. But when you got college degree folks with doctorate degrees and things of that nature, then we can analyze stuff and we know math and we can spit it out. Now, if you just finished high school, that's as far as you went. Then you might not understand where we're coming from.
There you go.
Okay, stop me. Stop me. Stop me.
Yeah.
But
okay.
For 12 years, you have been our mayor. And this is what we talk about when we talk about white privilege. I have never seen an African American with just a high school diploma, and God bless you for that. With a high school diploma that'll run $1 billion budget for 12 years and never be checkmate. They're spending it wild, however way they want to spend it, and never be checkmated. So, Carpenter, I'm going to be the check. I don't care where it goes. I am going to checkmate you because you told me you've had 2 stellar careers. 2. And you're going to sleep well at night because you didn't help not one Black community. And let's not talk about the money on the general fund for education because all kids under civil rights law are entitled to a free and good education. You're supposed to spend a bunch of money.
Yeah, but look at the schools that it goes to.
Okay, wake
Is that
up.
Another can? Is that another can?
I'm just saying people.
Yeah.
People. And there are some good white folk that don't appreciate what this budget it represents.
Absolutely.
So it's not just African Americans and Hispanics or Black and brown and poor community that are mad. There are some good white folk.
Yes.
That are mad about this budget because you got $71.4 million of free governmental grant money to disperse in the most impacted communities of Hamilton County, and you gave 0, and we asked for 3.56. That's only 5% of that money, and you can have the other 95 because we're going to talk about what that money was going for.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was wanting to ask you. I was waiting till you came around to it, though.
Okay, let me calm down and take a deep breath.
Go ahead, Doc. Tell me. Tell the people.
Part of this budget, which we have one of the, and I don't even want to put his name in this because he's a good man. You know, James Moreland is a good man. So don't you all take out nothing on him because I'm calling his name out. He ain't done nothing. Okay? So don't mess with his contract. Don't mess with him because he's been doing an amazing job. He has $1 million scholarship endowment fund, and he's helping to send people to UTC. Black and brown and poor folk are getting that money to go to UTC. And I want to thank him again. But he also has one of the most successful programs that's dealing with workforce development.
Yeah.
So I called on him. He didn't call me. I called him and asked him to head up the workforce development piece, which is the biggest piece. You know, $1.9 million of that money. Okay? And then we have a piece that's dealing with violent and nonviolent crime prevention task force program. And I called on Judge Patterson, Boyd Patterson,
yes,
to lead that charge along with Tony. Y'all know Tony Boston, along with Donut. Y'all know Donut. And I'm going to call him former detective Napoleon, quote unquote, Donut Williams. One of the best detectives and the first African-American or Black, whichever one you feel comfortable with, police detective for the city of Chattanooga. They're running that.
So you even had a diverse team put together.
A diverse team. Yeah, and then some consultants.
Yes.
Some consultants. Our former district attorney. He's currently still our district attorney because he's still one of the best in the courtroom. He still is one of the best. Kudos to you and kudos to the next district attorney. I work with anybody, you see. So we've got the best team of folk working in the violent and nonviolent crime prevention and diversion program, which Auburn Park Development Corporation is already involved in the diversion program and have been for the past 5 years. So in case you get in a little trouble and the alternative would be to go to jail or to get under the protection of Auburn Park Development Corporation and do community things to work out that time. And we report back and forth to the judge. If you don't do what you're ordered to do, then you go to jail. That's diversion. To free up the jail from non-violent criminal offenders and save those cells for violent offenders and give people a second chance. You see, that's what that's all about. That's the second piece.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but it's funny that you say that because part of the place where they intend to save money in this proposed budget is in recidivism, having less people going into the jail cells. So like actually by funding your program would have actually helped to even increase the savings.
And we not, Judge Patterson is not the only person. We've worked with our juvenile court justice judge.
Yes, Judge Phil.
An amazing man.
Yeah, wonderful guy.
So when you're dealing with Dr. Woods, you're going to deal with expertise and excellence. I don't care what you think about me. You're going to deal with excellence and expertise because my brain has been stretched. I've been practicing for 34 years and went to one of the best dental schools in the nation. And so when you're dealing with me, you're not dealing with junk, okay? You're dealing with someone that deals with things on an excellent level and with expertise. So that's the second piece. The third piece is education. The 0 to 4 education. Dr. Saunders, PhD of education, is the director. We're going to do that anyway because our children deserve to have a quality education before they get to kindergarten. Because as you know, or may not know, the brain cells of an infant It's developing very fast when they're born. And actually, it's developing in the womb.
Yeah.
So if you can
exponentially faster than any other period of life. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you can get those little neurons in the brain cell, look this word up, neuron, Neuron, and dendrites, Dendrites, neurons and dendrites, excited when a baby is born. But all the little things that you're supposed to be engaging with that baby with, that brain, by the time they get to kindergarten, will not only it's already a sponge, but it would have put things on those dendrites and got those neurons excited. Their IQ is going to go up. So we want to have the smartest babies.
Yeah.
So that when they get to kindergarten, they'll already be ready. Their brain has already been activated. So they're used to thinking, whether it's thinking about, is that color yellow, is that color blue?
Sure.
You know, is it light or is it dark? Are you touching me or are you not? All those things that get the child brain to working. When they get to kindergarten, they're going to be ready.
Yes.
See, and then when they get to kindergarten, when they finish that, they'll be ready for the first grade. It don't start in the third grade. See, the devil would have us to think, oh, you got to the third grade to get your baby together. Then by the third grade, if they ain't on time,
put them on that pipeline.
Yeah. If they not ready in the third grade on the third grade reading level, then we got a prison ready for your child. Because statistics show that if you can't read on the third grade level, by the time you get to the third level, then you're not going to succeed and prison is ready. So why would you wait to the third grade to start getting ready, people? You get ready when your baby, in fact, get ready when your baby in utero. That means in the womb. Yeah. Get ready. Mothers, eat right. Yeah. Get your plenty sleep. Yeah. Exercise. Do all the things you're supposed to do. Daddies, do all the things you're supposed to do.
You know, that's actually why we did all natural.
Yes.
Because one of the things it says is that when a child is born without the what do you call the drugs and stuff that the pain medicines that the mothers have to get?
Oh, you're talking about the epidurals
and all that stuff that babies come out more responsive and they actually have a higher IQ later in life.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. So, and then, when the babies are born, I'm going to say this real quick because I know we're talking about this messed up. Look, this messed up budget right here. That you all need to go on the website, Hamilton County's website, and read it. You're going to find discrepancies in it. The numbers don't even add up. 2 + 2 is not 3. Okay? So we need to make sure that these numbers, fact check it, Mr. Lee, go through it and make sure it's adding up right. And then you got the website. What you got on the website don't match the presentation that the mayor did. It's 2 different presentations. Unbelievable. Where does it stop? And I'm going to get on the black and brown and poor people for just a minute because they are doing this discriminatory stuff because you don't come and checkmate them. I know we rushed down there. Poor Tim Kelly and the city mayors before him. We always down there at the city hall, which we should be, jumping up and down and clowning. But that's only $357 million budget. That's just a little crumb. And you all don't go to the county mayor's meetings at the county, and they got $1 billion every year to work with.
Yeah, and that's really where the money is for schools and things of that nature.
You need to be down there jumping up and down. So Wednesday, I dare y'all. I'm going to dare y'all. I dare y'all to come down on Wednesday, this coming up Wednesday at 9:30 and meet me there. I dare y'all. Are you scared? I dare you. If you're black and brown and poor, I dare you meet me in the chambers of the county commissioners and stand with me for you. Because like I told Chairman Smedley, I made it. I went to college. I paid my bills.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't never got to worry about seeing me in jail unless I done hit somebody for hitting me. Okay? Yeah. So I done make, my children are great. My plots paid for. So they got to worry about nothing. Nothing. But until all my people, black and brown and poor people, have the same opportunity as white children, then I cannot rest until my black men have the same opportunity as white men. Black women have the same opportunity as black women. Black businesses have the same opportunity as white businesses. You know, black organizations have the same opportunity as white organizations. My soul will not rest. I'm not free until we all have the same opportunity. And anybody that's black and made it or brown and made it, and you sitting at home and you're not doing nothing to help the cause, then shame on you. Because first they'll come after you, the black and brown and poor people. And then when they get through pounding their head, they're going to come after me. So my best thing to do is to fight for all people, not just black and brown and poor, but to fight for all people.
That's what Dr. King said. He said, I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for all of my people that love me, my black and brown and white people that love me, I am not ranting because I think you're bad. I am ranting because I'm looking up here at a budget right here that's inequitable, that's injustice and unfair, and has disenfranchised all black, brown, and poor people. Disenfranchised them, especially with this art money. Because he may have a little argument on the budget, the $1 billion budget. Because when you think about it, okay, the health department, we all use that. We all go to school. We all use this and that, you know. But when you come to this art money, this is some free money right here that's supposed to go to impact the community. I got a problem. I've got a problem. If we didn't ask for it, then you can say, well, we had it for it, but they didn't even come forward and ask for it. I've heard that before. If you had to just ask Dr. Woods, we would have gave you something. Well, we asked for it. And 5%. You can have the 95%. And I don't even think you need to have the other 95%. I think we ought to have 22% of $71,400,000, which comes out to be around $16-17 million, because I did the numbers. We should have gotten $17 million back to the black and brown and poor community.
Tell me something. Leading up to that meeting on the 11th, about how much time did you spend daily working on this thing? Oh, my God.
We have spent months and months and months preparing, doing video footage of our community, showing him on the video. We're going to put the video up too, because I want you all to see. We have flew consultants in. We have paid lawyers, because, you know, like I said, I don't do things halfway, to look at this money. And we still have them looking at it because some don't smell right. Maybe we need to do an injunction.
Maybe
we need to do that. That's
where
you just stop everything. Don't nobody get nothing till we sit down and have a real discussion about what y'all doing. You think we can do one of those things?
Absolutely.
We might can. I think we can.
And I mean, a huge part of it was, well, people are going to be upset with you because a huge part of that money, I think like 60% or something, was salaries and benefits and stuff for government employees.
Well, guess what? If y'all come down there and meet us too, all of y'all folks that's going to benefit, meet us down there at the county commissioners meeting on Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. And you tell them to free our people and give them at least 5%, if not the whole 11.2 million that's unallocated, to give it to us. Because if we get ours, then you can get yours. But if you get it all, that ain't fair. So tell him to give it to us. And you ain't got to worry about all that. We just want him to be fair and equitable. And yes, we know you look at color. That is the most right. Sometimes you can be so racist that the things you say, you don't realize that it's racist because you think it's normal. When you tell us that you don't see color, that is the most racist thing that you could ever say out of your mouth, because everybody sees color. Because it's mighty funny, out of this whole budget, this whole art money, that not one person of color got anything out of it. So you didn't see no color. You saw color. You saw white color. You saw color. So don't say that. And then you did a checkbox after I've been raising hell and gave the Girls Inc., which we love. They need to get $1 million.
Yeah, they're a good organization.
A great organization for our babies. Give them $1 million. Multiply that times 100 or whatever it is. Multiply it times 100. I got degrees. I got 3, 2 bachelors and a doctorate degree. I can do algebra.
Oh man.
But the point is, if y'all are mad at me for saying what I'm saying today, then I need you to checkmate yourself. Because nobody sitting out there listening to this should be okay with money coming to this community for the most impacted communities, and none of us requesting the money, getting any of it. And you got WWTA, which is this sewer thing,
yes,
who he appoints every director, getting about half of the money. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure, and I think I was telling you earlier, like with the ambulance fund, that's part of where they plan to get a lot of revenue for this upcoming year, and that they outsource a lot of that to these private organizations. So even still, that's kind of some money exchanging hands with buddies or whatever. So you just can't trust it.
Okay, so let's go back to who did get some of this AR art money.
Yes.
Can you all justify the Tivoli getting $2.2 million?
Yeah.
Was that they've got plenty of money from United Way. They got their own art money that they applied for. I mean, money's just been pouring into the Tivoli. I'm not saying the Tivoli is not a good organization. It's part of the tourist business district or whatever. But they're not people. And I love my furry little friends. But I remember just a few years ago before COVID, they got a $10 million doghouse. I'm not saying I don't love my furry little friends, and I'm glad they got a new home. Lord, no, they needed one. But if you can do it for a dog, then you ought to not see color on giving it to poor folk and black and brown people. And I love my furry friends. My children's dogs sleep with them. They don't sleep with me, but they sleep with my children. You better not say anything to their dogs. Their dogs are humans to them. So we spend thousands of dollars taking them back and forth to the vet. Just spent $1,000 because one of the little nail, she stepped on something and was bleeding around her little paw.
Hey, I got something that's going to make you feel better.
What?
It ain't 11.2, it's 11.9.
$11.9 million of unused, unallocated funds, and we just wanted 3.56. Give it to us, Mayor. What you waiting on? You fixing to retire? You fixing to leave? Do something great. And whoever's going to have a problem with it, tell them you don't see color. Tell them that. Tell them you don't see color. Don't you all try this trick at home. Because I know there are some black folks say, get them, Dr. Wood, get them, Dr. Wood. They in their room, in their living room, boxing like they boxing. Don't try this trick at home. Because some of you all have jobs. Some of y'all may work for the mayor. I'm not asking y'all to go out and wild out with me. That would be devastating. Because when you do that, you're going to get fired.
That's it. Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
So do not wild out with me. Just support me quietly. And you have a way of supporting Alden Park Development Corporation right now. You can go to our website, apdc98.org. 98 is the year we were incorporated. A for Alton, P for Park, D for Development, C for Corporation. apdc98.org, and make $1 contribution every month. If I got 1,000 people out there, make $1 contribution every month, or make a $25 contribution every month. I give support to the animals every month. Give some support to some humans. How about that?
So one of the quotes that we hear a lot in the Army is they say, nobody cares what you know until they know that you care. It's obvious that you're very passionate about all of this. The people and this Development Center. Tell them, what is it that you really want people to walk away from today with?
The thing that I want people to walk away from today is that you have a voice. And nobody's going to look over your voice if you talk loud enough, speak enough, and show that you care. Show up for these meetings and make sure when you register to vote that you don't just have a card that you're bragging about. Make sure you're going to the polls and vote. Even if your person don't get elected, you still made a difference because your vote counted for somebody. Might not have been for the winner, but it counted for somebody. And if we really get smart, God has got humor. Let me tell you what the humor is. Because I used to ask this all the time when I was a poor little girl.
Am I gonna be ready for this story?
I don't know.
Okay, here we go. Let's go.
Okay. I used to say, God, why did you make so many poor people and only just a few rich folks?
Oh, wow.
Why? Why did you do that? You're a fair and just God. And as I got older, I began to smile because I figured it out. You ever think about balance on a scale?
Oh, yeah.
The rich folks may have all the money in the world. It ain't but 1 or 2% of them. But he left 98% poor. Almost poor. That 98% can run the world if we come together and put our voices together and get people who believe in what we need and feel us every day. That person will be your next leader. It's not what the rich folks want. Let them spend millions of dollars on their campaign. Let them spend all their family riches. But it don't matter if you ain't got the numbers. So God left all these poor folks so we can balance it out with that power that these wealthy folks have. Their money means nothing when we come in a multitude. Martin Luther King showed you that. When we walk together, when we pray together, and when we believe and pray together, there is no force bigger than that. So who cares about the 1 or 2%? You are in the 98%. And you have the most power. Remember that. You have the most power. You don't believe that? You don't believe it? Look at all the powerful folks that have been brought down. All the money that they got. You have the power. Use it. That's what I want you to take away from this. Show up at those county meetings. If you're a leader, if you're a president of a neighborhood association or a leader in a nonprofit organization, then every Wednesday you should be down at the county courthouse in the commissioners meeting. Every Tuesday you should be down at the city hall in the city hall meeting on Tuesday. If you're a leader, you cannot lead if you blinded like the rest of us. You've got to have your blindfolds off, and you have got to know everything about what's going on. And that's why our communities are behind. I believe our leaders, I'm going to call our leaders out. When you don't know nothing, you can't do nothing. See, wisdom is power. And I know some stuff. Okay? And I'm going to use this wisdom to do what I have to do. Sometimes you have to go by yourself. Sometimes all of us got to die by ourselves. And so if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. You've heard that. So because I was a poor child, grew up, was a welfare mother myself with my firstborn child, wow. I understand what the struggle is.
I didn't know that, though.
Yes. You know my glory, but you don't know my story. You understand that? That means it is nothing that poor folks can say to me that I don't understand and that I don't feel. And that's why I fight hard, because somebody gave me an opportunity. Give us an opportunity, Mayor Carpenter. I know it's a one-time seed money, But my mama taught me how to take one bean, 1 grain of a rice grain, and make a whole meal with it. If you give us $3.56 million, we ain't gonna come back to you until we have to another year from now. So, but until then, we know that this is seed money, and we're not. You said it over and over that the folks that are getting that money is not going to necessarily get it again because it's a one-time fund from Biden. And I like the fact that our illustrious mayor is a Republican, and this money came from a Democratic president who, as you all know, let's be real. This is my radio. That's why people listen to us, because I'm real. I tell it like it is. They don't like Biden. They don't like him. But you spend his money. And you spend his money and then give it to the people that's supposed to have gotten it. I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell it. And I already wrote it in my diary and everything on who to go and who to talk to. So if you kill me, that's all right too. You got to be not scared to die.
We're going to rally around you. We're going to make sure you don't die, Doc.
Security. We got you. Tony, I need security from your security company.
We got you, Doc.
You see? Yeah. So what I'm saying, people, is that what I want you all to take from this, and our marketing director, person who is really has done an amazing job with WPTP and our websites. Michael, if you can, please put this whole budget online and put the video that we have, that we did, that we showed the whole PowerPoint presentation to the mayor and to the county commissioner. Could you please upload that? And I'll pay whatever we have to pay to boost that so as many people can see the video and they can see this budget and look at the inequity. We didn't even get parity. Parity is what we should be asking for. That's 33 1/3. Parity. But not only did we not get parity and did we not get equity and disenfranchised, but we didn't even get 22% of that money. And we were only asking for 5. You could keep the 95. We said, give us 5, Mayor. And you laughed in our face. You joshed with us. You patted me on my back.
Oh, yeah, that's
smiled,
what they do.
You smiled at me. And you
Smile
told
in your
me
face
that you was going to get with Mayor Kelly. And Mayor Kelly said he ain't talked to you. Now, Mayor Kelly, I text you. And I still like you. In fact, you can sound like both of you. But wrong is wrong. And when you're wrong, I'm going to tell it.
That's it.
So you answer my text because I endorsed you. And I expect for you to answer my calls when I call you. And if you don't like me no more, tell me and let me post it to the world. But I believed in you. I had some of my own people mad at me because I believed in you. And now I can't get a call back. What's going on? You and Carpenter were supposed to meet, and he was going to ask you to pay half and he paid the other half, because that's just how bad and good. Bad means good. That's how good this proposal is. I had consultants, experts, and lawyers working with us on this budget because I didn't want it to be a dumb proposal. And I don't know everything. So I pulled the experts that do. And we came together and we came up with this program. And my name ain't on none of that money. Because guess what? I have given all the money that was needed to put the proposal together. Thousands of dollars. And my name is not on there to get paid because I go to work every day and make money. And I'm licensed in several states. So if I got a tent and some power, I can sit that tent in the middle of the field and do tea. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't need this $3.56 million. My people need it. The black and brown and poor people need it. That's who need it. That's why I'm mad. Because it was free money, tax-free money that did not come from us that paid property tax. It was given by a Democratic president to this city because we were one of the most impacted cities in the country. And that was because of the black folks and the Hispanic folk, the black and brown statistics, because we had the highest COVID rate. We're the sickest. We have the poorest economic development in our neighborhoods, in our communities. Our businesses are suffering, and we didn't get a penny of it. Shame on you for sleeping well at night. Shame on you for having 2 stellar careers and not thinking about your fellow man. Shame on you. That's what I say, and I'm going to end it on that. You're going to take us out. I'm done. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us today. It's been a great show. I'm glad we got to hear you. Thank you so much for having me on, Doc. I'm glad you ended it because you was gonna blow a blood vessel.
If you guys look at my forehead, you see that vein just popped in my head. I never.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to phone in, do we have time for people to phone in?
Yeah,
no,
we're still on. We're still on air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the number is 423. We're gonna get 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
423-713-7614. And I'm gonna let you talk about whatever you want to talk about. We don't get a call, that's all right. That's why we ain't getting no money, because we ain't involved. We're not going to the meetings. We're not raising HE hockey stick about our money. That's our money. We make up 22% of the population in the county. So if the government sent $71.4 million, we should have got some too. I ain't got nothing to say. Go ahead.
How you gonna say you ain't got nothing else to say? You sit back with your arms folded and
There's
then
some
go off
mad
again.
At me. There's some black people right now mad at me, say she ought to not do this. Why should I not? You're the reason why we ain't got nothing.
What they saying you shouldn't do?
She on there talking about the mayor like that? Well, the mayor talked about you like that. He said he gonna sleep good on his decision. You don't care if you ain't getting nothing.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
Because he had 2 stellar careers.
Hey, you didn't say some stuff in there that had me like, oh my God, on the inside. So.
I know. That's because you're not free.
Yeah.
Until you can speak.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you're not free. You know, and I want us all to be free. You know, I feel very free because I've been poor and homeless, and I know what it feels not to be able to pay your bills, to get food stamps and a welfare check, and have a baby daddy and old child support to me. I feel all of that, so I ain't no different than you. I just now have a career and make plenty good money, but I'm not so far ahead that I ain't forgot where I come from. That's why I fight for you. That's why I'm not scared, because guess what? I ain't going back. That's why I'm looking at how many other states I can get a license in. I'm going to get a state in all 50 states. I'm going to get me a dental license. So when y'all get tired of me and run me out of Tennessee, I can go to Georgia. Then I can go to Alabama. Then I can go to Kentucky. So I think I need to do one in North Carolina. Let's see. Give me some progressive cities. Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
It's too cold in Chicago.
You don't like Chicago?
It snow too much. I won't be able to go to the dentist office and work. I be snowbound. I got to be able to get to the office. I hate when it snows.
Do you prefer the beach or the mountains?
Yeah.
No, do you prefer the beach or the mountains? Do you want to be on the beach or in the mountains?
I don't like the beach because I can't swallow that much water. So if I go to the beach, I'm just going to look pretty. I'm going to walk the sand.
Yeah.
But because you know why? I went to the beach a couple of times. This is no lie. And I got in the water. And I just stood at one place. I saw people surfing, people swimming at the beach. I was like, how in the world? And so I just stood in one place because I'm scared of the water like that.
Oh, man, I'm a typical dad when we go to the beach. Yeah, I'm that daredevil. My kids and I, we be like jumping off stuff we shouldn't.
No, let me finish telling you. And I waited 20 minutes in that one place.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I know, I was so far back away from the beach. The water does this.
Exactly.
And you don't have to be swimming in it. It'll wash you out. No beach. I will. And I'm already brown chocolate and done. So I don't need to sit out and go get no sun bath. No. Mm-hmm. I will walk with an umbrella over my head so the sun won't burn me no more than I'm already burnt.
Yeah.
And I'll see y'all later.
Yeah.
I'm going inside.
I know. Doc, you told me to talk the last 5 minutes, but
Okay.
you took it. But you know what? I'm gonna come back and we're gonna get a chance to chat about all the things that I know you want to talk about, including the special election that happened in 2021. And hey, I appreciate you having me on the show.
All right. Thank you. So until next week, I will see all of you. Be blessed. Make sure you go love and hug on some of our military folk because they have really kept us free in this country. That's why I'm able to talk right now because of you on the radio. I'm free, y'all. But y'all ain't free yet. So that means I ain't free either. So I'm free in my mind, but I'm really not free. You know that? Go hug a military person. Let them know that you appreciate what they've done and what they're still doing every day. You're still active.
So, but just so you know, a lot of times people confuse Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Memorials for those that have died.
Right.
Okay.
I'm still pledging love and support
Yeah.
to all military men.
Yeah.
And we don't want you to die. But I understand
Amen.
there's some
I
that have passed
appreciate that.
away. My
Yeah.
biological father fought in the Vietnam War
Wow.
and had Agent Orange, we suspect, and passed away. He was handicapped, crippled, whatever,
Wow.
from the war.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm talking about. Giving you tribute, even though you've not passed away, but giving you tribute anyway, because you're going in every day not knowing whether or not you're going to come back.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
So we love you. Thank you.
It's my honor.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we'll see you guys next week.